Yo, what's going on, everyone? This is Mitch from RespectMyRegion.com here with an episode of RMR TV. Today we got a special guest, Sam Lachow, joining us here momentarily. Today's episode sponsored by us. You know what I'm saying? Respect My Region, RMR Legacy Smalls cannabis brand, now available in Washington and California. You know, we had to sponsor our own stuff, putting our own bread up, making things happen. But we got Sam Lachow joining here in a second, man. Let's see. Gotta figure out how to add. I'm a dork when it comes to... Oh, there we go. There we go. There we go. There
Did it work?
we go. Yep.
Wait,
Yeah. How
are we
living?
live? Oh,
Live, man.
so
How
good.
we
How are you?
living, Sam? Good, man. I know we were talking through the text, man. We both some dinosaurs when it comes
We
to the
really
social
are,
media
bro. It's
shit, man.
ridiculous. Here's
And it's funny because you be putting out all this content, and I'll be a part of a
he's
content
here.
platform. Oh, you got
We here,
the
baby.
pup.
Come here. He's a good boy. He's a good boy.
Mine's running around somewhere. If I break him in, then I'm gonna have kids coming up in here, man. And
For sure.
I'm not
Yeah,
opening
I
Pandora's
opened
box,
Pandora's
man.
box when I busted out the red squeaky ball, so I might I might be throwing it a little bit. What's popping though?
No worries, man. Yeah, I'm just chilling, man. I'm out here in Houston, so it's dark, as you can see, kind of see out this window out here. It's not the same shade of sky that you got going on
Yeah, it is
back
beautiful
in the
here,
town, I'm
man.
assuming. Awesome, bro. Well, I appreciate you hopping on, man. We just dropped a new album, man, last month. I'm saying last month, but it was just a couple weeks ago,
Yeah,
man.
I call it a project. It's basically an album though, 9 songs. That counts as an album, right?
Yeah. I mean,
Yeah.
it's teetering the line.
Okay,
Like, you
good.
passed EP at 9 tracks.
It was
You
going
know
to
what I'm
be an
saying? You're
EP
past
because
EP.
it's the follow-up to an EP from 2017 that was 5 tracks, and that's an EP. But this one, we decided to go bigger with it. So I call it project because that's just kind of like ambiguous enough. But yeah, it's an album.
hmm Heavy
Yep.
Hearts with Maggie Lou May, and what went into that, like, doing that? So you said it's a continuation of that, collaborating with another artist on a whole project. Like, did it start just making a couple songs, or set out with the intention of making a
Yeah,
full
kind
body
of
of work?
both. Like after we made our first project, her and I have been best friends since literally preschool. Um, and she kind of went down a road of classical composition. Like she has her PhD and shit and like guitar composition. And I went down the hip
Mm.
hop route. And so we sort of are like fusing both of what we're good at, you know? And we always loved that sound. And I think we made maybe like 2 songs together from like probably over 2 years ago, honestly, like the beginnings of the songs, just kind of the beats. And then we kind of kept working and eventually decided to make a project. But yeah, it's been like 3 years in the making. I went to rehab and shit, and I wrote like most of it in rehab. And then I got out, and she was in school, so it's been a long time coming. But we finally put it out.
Yeah, it's a little bit. I'm assuming, as we get older, it's a little bit harder to just, like, not just get together at the crib and just make a bunch of music over a couple
Exactly.
weekends, right? So many more
It used to be
logistics
just
happen.
like I would literally have a party and invite all the homies over, and like I wouldn't even really remember doing it, but the next day we'd have like 5 tracks done, you know?
And so, like, the sound of this, right, is definitely, it's got your vibe, but it's a little bit more elevated. There's some of the jazzy laid
Yeah.
back joints, some of the little bit poppy or electronic type components. What sonically,
So
what was your approach there?
I love this project and I love how this sound, but it's kind of, I knew it would be kind of polarizing with my fans because it's a lot less rappy rap, I guess, and it's more melodic. I do more singing on it than usual. Um, but so I have some fans that are like, "Is this your new sound forever?" And it's like that's not how I work. Like I do what I'm passionate about. My next project might be full on 90s boom bap style hip hop. Like, I don't like I'm not switching over to this indie pop sound forever. I just do what I feel and what I'm into, and that's what I was
Hmm
into at this time. And another thing I'll say about it that's kind of funny is I was super in my like emo stage when I wrote these lyrics. So like, and I'm doing a lot better right now. I got 4 months sober and I'm, a lot healthier. Thank you so much. And I'm,
Congrats.
but so listening back to some of this stuff is a little hard for me just because like, damn, I was in a dark place. Like I was just in my head, in
Mm-hmm.
my feelings and shit. But like that's what I like about my catalog. Sorry for yapping a bunch, but like that's kind of when I look back at my catalog, I can tell where I was at each point in my life. And I think my fans appreciate that too.
Yeah, I mean that's that. The thing about music, right, is like emotion driven, right? It's fueled by emotion. So whether it's happy or whether it's sad, and like sadly, I view it like in life, right? Like I know some places don't get the negative reviews, but like if you have a good experience at a restaurant, you're probably not gonna go and write
Yeah.
like a review, right? If you have a negative thing, you're going crazy, right? And music is kind of a similar thing, right? When you have a lot of things that are truly weighing on your mind, pulling you directions, right? I'm assuming that kind of like and just inspires
Yeah,
you
I'd
more,
like
if
to
you will.
think that I'm inspired by both the good and the bad. Um, and just kind of where I was in life, it was a lot of, like some of my older projects, the way I'm glorifying um drugs and alcohol, just the party life and shit. I don't like feel bad about that. That's just it was fun back then, and then it stopped getting fun for me. It started getting
Mm-hmm.
real lonely and real I was isolating and I was in a very self-isolating place when I was writing this shit. So that's just where my mind was at.
And obviously, like the fact that you produce as well, right? Like you're creating on multiple levels. Where do you usually start? Whether it's a project or a song, I'm sure it varies. But like, is it starting kind of with the music first, or is it starting kind of from the lyrics and like what you
Yeah,
want to
it always
say
starts with the
first?
music first for me. Sometimes the only way it starts with lyrics first is if like I'll think of some lyrics just out of the blue, like when I'm walking my dog or some shit. Then I write the lyrics down, but I don't know what they're gonna go to usually. So like I definitely have a
Mm-hmm.
stash in my notes and like voice memos of a bunch of like bars, but everybody, but it almost always starts with the music for me. Like I'll have a melody idea in my head. Sometimes it'll be like for this one, I would link up with Maggie and kind of have an idea that's like, let's mix this Neil Young song with this Pharrell's type beat, and like I got this and like kind
Mm-hmm.
of create something out of a bunch of influences and just kind of see what happens. But usually, because I can't write a flow until at least the drum pattern is there. Yeah.
Right, right. And so that's another question. Like on the beats, man, is it you starting melody first, drums again? I'm sure it varies, but
Yeah,
do you kind of
I
teeter to
I'm a
one way?
drummer. That's how I started. So like even if it's just the bass line, it all kind of starts very percussive for me. I gotta have that groove right
Mm-hmm.
for me to flow, and then once I have that groove and I start writing, like my writing process is I don't know if I've ever talked about this really, but like I'll mumble a whole verse, pretty much freestyle it, and I'll mumble that whole like 16 bars, just freestyling flows, and I'll do that like 5 times maybe, and then I'll go in and pick my favorite of those flows and try to like a puzzle put them together, and then I have a whole verse flow wise but barely any lyrics, and then I fill it in. That's just how it works sometimes.
It, and has it always been that way? Because obviously, like the new wave of rap, that's became a big
No,
part of
I,
that.
I
But has that
I used
always
to
been for
definitely be
you?
way more into like storytelling raps, and I was listening to like Immortal Technique back in the day, and like
Mm-hmm,
Andre
mm-hmm.
like writing like I would have like I don't write storytelling verses nearly as much as I used to. Um, just because I feel like sometimes it can get in the way of the flow, and I'm more about the music lately. But I might go back to being more about telling a story. I don't know. But
Yeah, well, I mean, you're still put telling
yeah,
stories through the music, but I feel you the approach, right? It's not solely on the
yeah. I
story,
don't
right? It's
like. I
more
don't. A lot of my
sound
songs don't
first.
have like a basic ass theme. Like this song is about sneakers, or this. Like they're kind of all. They're about life in general, and like some will be about more about addiction, or I guess I have written songs just about my dog, but I'm not that. I'm not. I like to kind of keep it poetic and less on the nose, if that makes sense.
Absolutely. So yeah, so I saw your, one of your pinned or one of your recent IG posts where you said it's the most
Yeah.
TikToky thing you've done. Where you talk about your favorite 10 songs of yours. A lot of those, the first couple ones, all skewed towards the newer stuff. Do you feel like just evolving as an artist, like you like kind of where you're at in terms of evolution, or is that just kind of like what you're feeling most right now is like tends to
Um,
be kind of
well, if you
skewed
saw
towards
all
the new?
three of them, I made three, and there's definitely a few. Each one has like a couple old songs in there. Um, but I said it was the most
Hmm.
TikToky, I think, because like I was doing the whole transition where I put my hand up and then new outfit, and I just felt so
Yeah,
dorky, like and
yeah, yeah.
fucking like a old doing that, trying to do that shit. But then it became kind of fun, and I enjoyed it. Um, and some people were like, I remember, when I say some people, you know how it is when you get one negative comment and that becomes the one you remember. I got like one comment that was like, "Bro, stop focusing on the past and think about the future." And I'm like, "But most of these songs are like pretty current, and I'm talking about my old shit because it's fun, and I have a new album out, so I'm promoting it." Like, shut the fuck
Hmm.
up.
Nah, I like that and I dig that. Yeah, the whole
Yeah,
shift to content, right? Like really like when you were really in your bag on the rise, right? Like I know kind of early on you were getting love in the blog era, right? But then I feel like when you really started bubbling, especially locally, it was through, music videos, right? And then now we're in this whole new phase where like the TikTok content
yeah.
is everything, man. And like how do you feel like you kind of stay tapped into
So it's
evolve with that
interesting for
over
me
time?
because like I I I'm lucky that my streams have always stayed consistent. So like the one thing that stayed consistent for me is even as like blogs started dropping off and like my music videos weren't doing as big numbers and shit just because music videos in general kind of stopped doing numbers like that. It became all about 30-second TikToks and clips and shit. But like because of streaming and staying consistent, um, it's become almost more about the music, which I like. And then when it comes to like
Mm-hmm.
TikTok and Reels and stuff, I used to kind of um not hate it, but just kind of be on my old head shit. Like, man, no one has attention spans anymore, but like, but I kind of enjoy it now because instead of spending 4,000 on a music video, that like maybe the song might not become. I never know which one of my songs are gonna do well. Also, so like I might have
Hmm.
spent. I have music videos that I spent nothing on that do way better than ones I spent 4 racks on. You know what I mean? So now instead I can like
Yeah.
spend one day and not spend much money and make like 30 reels, just change my outfits and like try different things.
Hmm.
Like I made all the promotional content for Heavy Hearts in a day. I went to Bellingham with my homie Dante Wright. Shout out to Dante. And we like picked 4 locations, 4 different outfits, and just shot for a couple hours, and that was it. Um, and yeah, there's a lot of creativity that can come into those like 1 minute long clips. And you can also pick your favorite part of the song, and that's kind of fun.
Yeah. For me personally, getting on the TikTok shit was like, you look at it, like you said, the attention spans, you're like, man, you're making this small content, but there is such an art. Once I started trying to make them, there's such an
Yeah,
art in condensing like a message into 30 or 60 seconds and not feeling like, first couple ones I did were like 2.5 minutes. And it
yeah,
took me so long to like, how do I say what I
yeah.
want to say in 60
It's
seconds?
funny. It's
But that shit's
actually a lot
hard,
more
man.
difficult to make them than I thought they were gonna be. Like I assumed because it's like fucking 12-year-olds making the shit that it was just gonna be that it wasn't gonna be rocket science. But like it was like I was sweating, changing my outfits, and like trying to get in the same position and shit. It's pretty funny. Um,
Absolutely. And I was gonna say, like content isn't the only thing, like social media content isn't the only thing that shifted. You've always had that steady release of like singles, even though it was kind of in the format of
mhm.
like more music videos kind of early on. And like you said, you're streaming, but these last kind of like 3 years, it seems like you've been kind of uptick kind of the more loosies and single releases. What was kind of the
Same
thought
thing,
process
man. Like
behind
at
that?
first I was all anti singles and like, albums are where it's all at. And, I didn't want to conform to like the kind of new wave of dropping singles. But then it turned into, wait, now I get to just focus more of my time on each song. And it makes dropping them as a single, there's a little more pressure on that one song rather than just it being 1 out of 17 tracks on an album. You got to make every song go hard, because it's gonna be all the only thing I have out for a month until the next drop. And like, I remember one of my OG homies kind of explained it to me, how just like, don't think of it as lessening your album, think of it as you're highlighting each song more. So like, even though it can be kind of a bummer dropping an album that you've already released like 5 songs from, because you're like, damn, if my fans heard it all for the first time right now, that would be so crazy. It's kind of it's worth it, because they got to experience each song on their own, and then they get to kind of rehear it as part of the album. So there's good and bad.
Yeah, and like, from what I'm hearing from you, like, almost, kind of looking at that and not wanting to conform, right, holding on, but you feel like almost it's like there's a freedom kind of in
Yeah, I
this
love
new
it.
wave
Like,
stuff.
that's another thing too. It is a freedom, because I don't overthink my singles as much. Also, I'll be like, all right, this one's done, and fuck it, if it doesn't do all that well, I got another one coming out in 3 weeks, baby. It's not like, because I used to put too much pressure on myself for this album is the end all be all. It's got to be my masterpiece, and now I can, I don't know, I'm having more fun. And also with like reels and shit, I'm posting more, so it makes me not give a shit. Like, I figure out what I'm gonna post at night, wake up in the morning, bang, post it. Don't give a fuck how it does, because I'm gonna post something else tomorrow, whatever. And I try to keep it a balance and not let it, like, because if I'm caring about social media too much, that's we all know how unhealthy that can be.
Oh, 100%, man. That's definitely the name of the game is volume to some extent, and like you said, it doesn't allow you, like,
Yeah,
I mean, you'll tank yourself if you overthink it, but like, there's so much shit going on. It's almost like, okay, I don't even
yeah,
necessarily have the
yeah, yeah,
stress to
yeah,
overthink it, because, like you
exactly.
said, something else is right around the
Oh, what
corner.
was I just gonna say? Oh, sup, bud? I just saw that in the comments. My alarm went off for this interview because we were gonna do it earlier, but we're good now.
Yeah, that's funny. Man, you got frequent,
Yeah.
you've had frequent collaborators like over your whole career. How much of that is like, I think I know the answer to this, but like, how much of that is just enjoying making music with someone, like enjoying the music you make with someone versus actually enjoying the making of the music with that
So
person?
when I was younger, it was different, because that's just part of growing up. Your friend group gets your circle gets smaller. You're not out kicking it as much, so like, it used to be more fun to feature a whole bunch of my friends on stuff, because we were literally together partying like every night, and it was like, let's hop on the track. And now, like, people, there's some of the people I worked with live in LA now or wherever. So now collaboration is, but it's always been just, I'm a fan of this person and they're dope. Like, I would never work with someone just because they're big, if I don't really like think they would fit on a song, even if I
Hmm.
like them, if they don't fit on the song, you know. Um, yeah, I guess, does that kind of answer your question? But like, yeah,
Yeah.
but every time I have a feature now, it's specific. It'll be like, who would work on this beat? And I just don't like hearing myself too much over my own shit. I start getting, like, if I, especially, my voice is low, so maybe I'll be like, the second verse needs something brighter, someone who raps more like this.
Mm-hmm. No, absolutely. And that's unique that you say you don't like your voice very much, and so that's
Yeah,
doing some
I don't want to
more
hear three verses
collaboration.
of the same dude. If it's gonna be three verses all me, I'm gonna make sure to switch the cadence, switch the flows up. Keep it interesting. Make sure to switch the beat up. I kind of get, maybe to a fault, I got like ADD with my music sometimes. I got a lot of beat switch ups, and it's hard for me to stick with one idea.
I, I think that's probably just the producer in you, whether it's the switch ups or even just those frequencies of the
Yeah,
different artists, right? You're viewing the whole track rather as like
for sure.
just you as a single entity.
Exactly. And like, yeah, as soon as I start getting bored with something, it switches, and I don't know. And I feel like my fans appreciate that. And I miss. Oh, sorry.
you ever have?
I was just gonna say,
Oh, go ahead.
I was always like that with albums too. Like I want my albums. I don't want one song to sound anything like the other songs on the album. And I think I got that from like Kanye, like College Dropout and shit like that. You know, like when the new Kanye album will come out,
Mm.
when you listen to a song, you have no idea what song is coming up next. And there's a lot, too much these days, or just in music in general, like the next song is going to have the same trap drums, the same, it's the same BPM.
Mm-hmm.
Like I like to be surprised, so I try to stick with that.
Yeah, no, I 100%, man. There's a lot of these albums out there, like 25
So many
songs nowadays.
skippables.
Mike
I
Will made it the
know.
whole time.
I know, and like after like
get
track 5, you're like, all right, I get it.
Absolutely, man, absolutely. It's a weird thing, right? When the artist starts following like the formula of like what the labels used to do in terms of just like packaging the
Totally.
same shit to
Yeah,
be
it's so
safe,
safe.
right? Yeah, we don't want that shit. I mean, I guess some people out there do because these guys are
No,
clocking streams
totally.
somehow.
And then when people like, whenever people say that they want my stuff to sound more like my old stuff, I just quote Jay-Z. You want my old shit? Buy my old album.
My old album, man. We always evolving over here, man. So I'm gonna ask you. I got a series of questions that I kind of want, first thing to your mind, not necessarily rapid fire, but a little
Yep.
bit more quick. You know what I'm saying? So, what is 2 words that you would describe Sam Lachow's music as?
Genre blending.
Okay. What was the first song you heard that made you want to make music?
Damn, that is so hard. I'm gonna say Like a Prayer by Madonna. I love that song.
I was just bumping that
Just
shit
because
today.
I was hella
lying,
young
bro.
when
That's
I heard
funny.
it, and I was like 5 or something, and I got goosebumps, and I was like, "What is this?" It's when I realized I love pop music,
Shit is a vibe. All right. What is an instrument you want to incorporate in production that you have yet to?
I want to do more vocoder, more or what's the shit where you stick it in the tube in your mouth and go.
Yeah, God damn it, I don't know why. Yeah,
I want some more of that, some of that Daft Punk sound. I'm into that right now.
Okay. What is the most memorable young Seattle version for you?
Man, I weirdly love there's only one that I didn't do a music video for, and I think it's Young Seattle Part 3. I think it's on Huckleberry. It's and it has like Jarve, Ryan Campbell, Gifted Gab. I love it. It's pretty much just drums. It's just like boom, boom, pop, boom, boom, pop.
Mm. That's crazy. You didn't do a video of that? In my head, it sounds like I lost your audio. Can't hear you. Where we go with our audio? Is it muted? No.
All right.
Oh, there we go. We back.
Made it so I couldn't hear you. I don't know why.
Yeah, man. Come on, bro. We on the interview. What they doing, man? Get them out of here. What's your favorite era of Seattle?
Damn. Mine. The Young Seattle guys. I love the Dave B's. I love the Gifted Gabs. I love the everybody. I love Travis Thompson. That's more new. Blue Scholars though. Come on. I was a huge Blue Scholars fan. I like as far as being a fan of Seattle hip hop, the time I was the biggest fan was Blue Scholars. And I remember
as in early 2000s.
I was talking about a new Blue Scholars album, and I think I wasn't talking shit about it, but I was like saying something like it's not my favorite of their project, but and then I happened to be sitting like 2 seats away at the same pho restaurant as Gio. And as I was walking out, I saw him and I got bright red. That's
What's your favorite
I'm
restaurant
gonna say
in town?
Machiavelli's right now. It's an Italian joint in Capitol Hill. And then just for a quick shout out, best burgers in Seattle that no one knows about is at Scoop du Jour in Madison Park. It's a ice cream. It's an ice cream place. It's been around forever, but the dude will cook you a homemade cheeseburger if you ask, and it is amazing.
Damn. Okay. So the ice cream joint got
I
the
neither
best
do I,
burgers,
but
man. I don't know how that
it's the
happens.
hidden gem. If you know, you know.
All right. We're done. We're done with the quick ones, man. We get to the point we're about to wind it down, but just curious, kind of. Obviously, you just dropped a project, so it's not necessarily what you got coming up, but just curious, like, what's the next moves from you? Is it just staying inspired? Is it working this
Yeah, I'll leave
content?
it at this.
What you
So
on?
right now I'm working on balance because like if I don't stay sober, I'm gonna spiral back down to the dark place I was. So like I try to put my health and sobriety above everything else. Um, then comes family because I want to have a family if I don't put my health first, you know. Then comes making
Mm-hmm. Oh,
art in general. Then after that is like success and content and career and shit like that. You know what I mean? I gotta put
mm-hmm.
them. I gotta put them in the right order because
Mm-hmm.
if I base my happiness and shit on success, then like the highs are gonna be too high, but the lows will kill you. You know, like if one post it does shitty, you can't let that ruin your day. You know, and if a post does really good, it can't be like the end all be all. So you got to yeah, keep a healthy balance. I hope that made sense.
Absolutely. Absolutely. As a creative, right? Like, there's really no end to creating. Sometimes it evolves. Sometimes it changes and moves. But what pushes you to want to keep putting those creations out into the world as opposed to just creating for the
I
sake of
can't not
creating?
create. I can't help it. It's I wake up with ideas. I go to sleep thinking about ideas. It's just in me, you know. I would do it if I wasn't making a living off it. I'm very lucky that I do, but like, I love doing it. Um, if it wasn't music, I'd be probably making movies. I want to make movies one day, you know. I'd be writing more. Uh, I think art is just what life's all about, you know. That's just for me. For me.
Hmm. Hmm. Hell yeah, man. Well, Sam, man, I really appreciate you joining us this evening, man. And I got to give you props. You know, I know I see the comments, bro. People be asking when's the next Young Seattle, all this. I know you had one not too long ago, but I really want to give you your flowers, being that platform. You created a platform in that series that really helped put artists on the map. And you know, for a lot of folks, I'm from the blog era, not a lot of people, but when that shit was getting pumped on blogs, it wasn't always Sam Lachow. It was like this spotlight on Seattle that came from you having that creative vision. So I publicly have to give you your flowers because
Oh
that
man, I
platform
just
was a
got
beautiful thing for
chills.
the
It
city,
means
man.
so much. Thank you so much. That's probably one of the things I'm most proud of for my career is that series and just seeing how the artists that were part of that, how they've evolved, and being able to do what I could to highlight some talent because those guys are killers, man. I really appreciate that. Thank you.
100, man, 100. So, everyone tuning in, appreciate y'all on this episode of RMR TV, man. Sam Lachow, you guys probably already know him. If not, make sure you give a follow. Check out that Heavy Hearts project. We're not calling it an album no more. We're calling it project, up Spotify, Apple, wherever you get your music. Really appreciate you, Sam, man. Everyone
Much
out
love,
there,
man. This was a lot of
thanks for
fun.
tuning
Stay in
in.
touch. Peace.
100, man. Peace.